Is Sadiq Khan a whopping great big climate grifting hypocrite? Well, questions are being asked after the Mayor of London and green clean air fanatic has been outed as signing an agreement to promote United Airlines in exchange for business class tickets during another pointless foreign trip. I imagine he knows this is a bad look because apparently City Hall has previously denied this, but reports today say he advertised the fact United Airlines flies into Heathrow Airport 22 times a day in exchange for business class travel on 6 flights. Please lecture me more on the climate emergency, Mayor Khan. Here's the supposedly damning tweet. We can bring a bit of that up for you. There he is. Yes, London is an unrivalled location to visit and invest in. I'm excited to take this message to New York, San Francisco and Los Angeles and showcase our amazing city to America. First stop, NYC, with United, who are now flying 22 times a day from Heathrow to the US. Right, there was a report that came out in October last year accusing Sadiq Khan and his team of racking up the equivalent of 14 round-the-world trips. That's 360,000 air miles, apparently. This guy loves flying so much, I'm surprised he hasn't qualified as a pilot. Presumably that's his dream, which is why we here at GB News have decided to make that dream come true. Yes, that's right. There he is. There you go, Sadiq. You look good. You look good in that uniform. I wonder whether this guy will publicly endorse the Icelandic volcano eruption if he got a free weekend in Reykjavik. So he has been on visits to India and Pakistan, to New York for a climate summit, obviously to Dubai for another climate summit. He's been on some completely pointless trips, like one to a cannabis farm in Los Angeles. It led to headlines like this. Sadiq Khan's 4-day US tour, including trip to cannabis farm, cost British taxpayers 34 grand, including stay at £235 a night 4-star hotel and New York business flights. It might be nice if he was back here sorting out knife crime, but no, he's got more important things to do. All the while, he's slamming taxpayers with green policies like ULEZ. A Freedom of Information request revealed that ULEZ generated, and I'm probably going to struggle to get this number right, £224,633, that'll do, in 2022, an average of £18.7 million a month, a number so big that it has quite literally blown my mind, OK? The Greater London expansion reportedly generated 26 million quid in its first month alone. Where is all of that money going? Now, it has led to a group of criminal vigilantes, known as the Blade Runners, committing criminal damage by trashing ULEZ cameras. This is obviously criminal behaviour. It cannot and will not be condoned, but it is happening. Earlier today, I spoke with one of these so-called Blade Runners. I did put it to him that people would say that their response to the ULEZ situation is wrong and maybe they should be stopped.
Probably the majority of them people who say we should be stopped, or the majority are probably the same people who support Just Stop Oil. And I don't see them complaining about Just Stop Oil supergluing themselves to the road or causing criminal damage to buildings and everything else. So, yeah, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I'll agree with that. But desperate times call for desperate measures, unfortunately, Patrick. And in London at the moment, we're in a bit of a state.
I also asked if he was concerned that the actions of the Blade Runners could lead to more extreme behaviour in the future, and actually if he was encouraging people to break the law.
Wouldn't ask anybody to do what we do because I know the dangers that are involved in it. Unfortunately, we're in a situation in London at the moment where it's hard to live. If I was to encourage anybody, I would encourage them to protest peacefully in a way that the guys are doing it with the dinosaurs and everything else.
I want to reiterate again, GB News does not condone the actions of the Blade Runners. Sadiq Khan isn't the only one at it, though. Justin Trudeau in Canada reportedly takes multiple private jet trips a month. In the US, John Kerry, the old climate czar, had a private jet. Humza Yousaf in Scotland flew to COP28 at a climate conference in New York. 9 SNP ministers took limousines to COP26, which I do believe was actually held in Scotland. The government flew an MP back from COP28 to vote in the House of Commons on the Rwanda deal. They are all at it. And that's before we started on the old lovey celebs like Emma Thompson and co. In all of our combined lifetimes, there is absolutely no way that we could ever be responsible for the kind of climate footprint that this group of elites leave behind them. And they ask us to change our lives, to make changes to the way we live our lives. But it appears that when Sadiq Khan was confronted with the choice between sitting in economy class for a few hours or promoting an ozone-destroying airline, he chose the promo. It just brought back shades of this for me. That time the G7 leaders, after imposing draconian lockdown rules on us all, met up together for a barbecue, maskless, on a beach. Like everything, it seems that there's one rule for them and one rule for us, and frankly, it sticks in the craw. In a statement about ULEZ camera vandalism previously, a spokesperson for Mr Khan said it is deeply disappointing to see opposition to a policy being used as an excuse for criminal damage. This petty vandalism of London's essential transport infrastructure is completely unacceptable. People are, of course, entitled to show their opposition to policies peacefully and lawfully, but causing criminal damage is never acceptable.